Daily Words of God. The 6 junctures in a human life. In the course of one's life, every person arrives at a series of critical junctures. These are the most fundamental and the most important steps that determine a person's fate in life. What follows is a brief description of these waymarkers that every person must pass in the course of their life. The first juncture, birth. Where a person is born, what family they are born into, one's gender, appearance, and time of birth. These are the details of the first juncture of a person's life. No one may choose certain details of this juncture. They are all predestined long in advance by the Creator. They are not influenced by the external environment in any way, and no man-made factors can change these facts, which are predetermined by the Creator. For a person to be born means that the Creator has already fulfilled the first step of the fate He has arranged for that person. Because He has predetermined all of these details long in advance, no one has the power to alter any of them. Regardless of a person's subsequent fate, the conditions of one's birth are predestined and remain as they are. They are not in any way influenced by one's fate in life, and nor do they in any way affect the Creator's sovereignty over one's fate in life. 1. A new life is born out of the Creator's plans. Which details of the first juncture, the place of one's birth, one's family, one's gender, one's physical appearance, the time of one's birth, is a person able to choose? Obviously, one's birth is a passive event. One is born involuntarily, in a certain place, at a certain time, into a certain family, with a certain physical appearance. One involuntarily becomes a member of a certain household, a branch of a certain family tree. One has no choice at this first life juncture, but rather is born into an environment that is fixed according to the Creator's plans, into a specific family, with a specific gender and appearance, and at a specific time that is intimately linked with the course of a person's life. What can a person do at this critical juncture? All told, one has no choice about any single one of these details concerning one's birth. Were it not for the Creator's predestination and His guidance, a life newly born into this world would not know where to go or where to stay, would have no relations, belong nowhere, and have no real home. But because of the Creator's meticulous arrangements, this new life has a place to stay, parents, a place it belongs, and relatives, and hence that life sets out on the course of its journey. Throughout this process, the materialization of this new life is determined by the Creator's plans, and everything it will come to possess is bestowed upon it by the Creator. From a free-floating body with nothing to its name, it gradually becomes a flesh and blood, visible, tangible human being, one of God's creations, who thinks, breathes, and senses warm and cold, who can participate in all the usual activities of a created being in the material world, and who will undergo all the things a created human being must experience in life. The predetermination of a person's birth by the Creator means that He will bestow upon that person all things necessary for survival. And likewise, the fact that a person is born means they will receive all things necessary for survival from the Creator. And from that point on, they will live in another form, provided for by the Creator and subject to the Creator's sovereignty. 2. Why different human beings are born under different circumstances. People often like to imagine that if they were reborn, it would be into an illustrious family. If they were women, they would look like Snow White and be loved by everybody. And if they were men, they would be Prince Charming, wanting for nothing, with the whole world at their beck and call. There are often those who labor under many illusions about their birth and are very dissatisfied with it, resenting their family, their appearance, their gender, even the time of their birth. Yet people never understand why they are born into a particular family or why they look a certain way. They do not know that regardless of where they are born or how they look, they are to play various roles and fulfill different missions in the Creator's management, and this purpose will never change. In the Creator's eyes, the place one is born, one's gender, and one's physical appearance are all temporary things. They are a series of minuscule jots, tiny symbols in each phase of His management of the whole mankind. And a person's real destination and outcome are not determined by their birth in any particular phase, but by the mission they fulfill in their life, and by the Creator's judgment upon them when His management plan is complete. It is said that there is a cause for every effect, and that no effect is without a cause. So one's birth is necessarily tied both to one's present life and one's previous life. If a person's death ends their current term of life, then a person's birth is the beginning of a fresh cycle. If an old cycle represents a person's previous life, then the new cycle is naturally their present life. Since one's birth is connected to one's past life as well as one's present life, it follows that the location, family, gender, appearance, and other such factors that are associated with one's birth are all necessarily related to one's past and present lives. This means that the factors of a person's birth are not only influenced by one's previous life, but are determined by one's destiny in the present life, which accounts for the variety of different circumstances into which people are born. Some are born into poor families, others into rich families. Some are of common stock, while others have illustrious lineages. Some are born in the south, others in the north. Some are born in the desert, others in verdant lands. Some people's births are accompanied by cheers, laughter, and celebrations. Others bring tears, calamity, and woe. Some are born to be treasured, others to be cast aside like weeds. Some are born with fine features, others with crooked ones. Some are lovely to look upon, others are ugly. Some are born at midnight, others beneath the blaze of the noonday sun. The births of people of all stripes are determined by the fates the Creator has in store for them. Their births determine their fates in their present lives, as well as the roles they will play and the missions they will fulfill. All this is subject to the Creator's sovereignty, predestined by Him. No one can escape their predestined lot. No one can change their birth, and no one can choose their fate.